video, we are going to see how we can create this type of question here, which is called drag and drop markers. We have a question text, and we're going to place some markers on a projection of a three-dimensional space on a two-dimensional space here. So let's see here. I'm going to put this in 0, 0, 0 because it seems like this is 0, 0, 0 here. Okay, and then I'm going to put this up here. If I can get access to it. Yeah, there you go. And I can place this on a half, that's in the middle-ish there, yeah. And then 0, 1 half, 1 half, that must be up here. Then 1 half, 1 half, and 0. Oh, that seems to be this one. And then 1 half, 0, 1 half. So that's what there. Okay, I'm going to check it now. So how do we create this kind of question? Well, I'm going to go to a course where I can have editing rights. I'm going to turn editing on. Go down to a quiz. I could also make my own quiz or make a new quiz. I'm going to use a quiz that I already have made. And I'm going to edit the quiz and add a new question. And we are looking at not drag and drop onto image, but drag and drop markers. And we're going to add that. As always, we will need a question name and a question text. And I'm going to call this atoms and vectors. And I have a question text. And you can see that I can use LaTeX code here. What I need to do is to surround it by brackets. So now we're going to choose a file on which we can drag and drop our markers onto. And we choose cube. So it's cube. Upload it. And here we are. So the next thing we want to do is create our markers. And as you might recall, they were called something with a times and then something. You can have an infinite number or up to 1 to 6. We just leave 1. After having defined all the markers that I want, and as you can see, and as you maybe also noticed last time, I had 2 markers which we weren't going to use, so there are kind of distractors. I can say that we want to shuffle them, and that's maybe a good idea. So the next thing we want to do is to create drop zones. So these are the zones that you can drop the markers up onto. And you can choose between polygons and rectangles and circles. The simplest thing is circles, and that's also what we're going to use here. The way that you define the drop zones is for a circle, you say I have a center, which is in this case I know it's 385 as the x value and 325 as the y value, and then it has a radius of 10. You should actually be able to see that up here. So that's the one up here. So that would be 1 half, 1 half, 0. So that corresponds to marker number 1. Now if I had put it slightly outside of this, you would actually be able to see it up here. So this is actually where you try out, and then you just move it bit by bit or pixel by pixel. You can also see I had to find out how many pixels wide. And maybe 12 is good, maybe 20 is good, but we've chosen 10. Then you have to choose the marker. And in principle, that's all you have to do for the rest of the markers. Now I've put in some coordinates and radii for the rest of the markers. And you can see them up here. And you can see that for one of them I've assigned a, a marker. And then I'm going to do that for the rest of them as well. When you've assigned markers to drop zones, then you can go up and check that everything is as it's supposed to be. And then you can move on. So in this particular case, we have some extra feedback. And instead of saying incorrect or partially correct, this is the feedback that we give when you have answered the question fully. Now we move to the hints. And as always, we're going to give 0 penalty for any incorrect try. And then we're going to put in some hints. First hint, you need to place precisely 4 coordinates, 1 for each atom. And this is our second hint. And we also do like this. Okay, so that's the question. And if we have done everything according to the rules of Moodle, then we are good to go. And we can just check that the answer is, or the question looks the way we want it to. Thank you for watching.